Hi everyone, I'm Yang Yang. Welcome to Tea House, China Radio International's online video talk show. You can watch our program online at www.crienglish.com and also enjoy Tea House via iPad. We hope to provide you with a platform of communication for a better world, and also hope you enjoy the ideas shared on Tea House. Today, we're having a cup of tea with Connie Gibson, professor of English at Jiangxi Normal University, who has taught English there for nearly 12 years. Connie will talk about the importance of teaching public speaking skills as an important part of educational system in China. Let's learn more about Connie by watching this short video.
Connie Gibson, affectionately known as Connie Mom, has been teaching at Jiangxi Normal University for almost 12 years. She's also a renowned speech coach and public speaking trainer throughout China. Gibson has successfully taught many exceptional students who've won awards in both English speaking and teaching competitions nationally. She's also been the recipient of many awards and honours, including the Mount Lushan Friendship Award from Jiangxi Province in 2002. Gibson was honoured with China's National Friendship Award, presented to her in September 2004 in Beijing. But the award she's most proud of is the Contribution Award, created for her by the FLTRP, the Foreign Language Teaching and Research Press, and presented in December 2011 in Beijing. She was asked to create the top prize for the 2009 CCTV English Cup Speaking Contest, which took winners to the George Mason Institute of Forensics 2010 summer program. Gibson has worked together with Caroline Kitchener from Princeton University to put together a special summer program for her students called Princeton in China, which she's very excited about.
Hi Connie, welcome to Tea House.
Thank you, Yang. It's good to be here.
I prepared a special kind of Chinese tea for you. I hope you like it.
Great. Love to have some.
When did you arrive at Beijing?
2 days ago.
Are you used to the weather here?
This last few days, beautiful. Not too hot, not cold. Gorgeous blue skies. It's been a welcome to me.
Yes, we all welcome you.
Thank you.
How are your children back home?
Good. They're doing well. I just had my 7th grandchild.
Oh, when?
About 3 weeks ago.
It's a girl or boy?
Well, this one is a boy. I have actually, my younger son now just had his 5th child and has a boy, girl, boy, and my older son has 2 girls. So now I have the 4 girls and the 3 boys.
As a mother of 2 sons and a grandmother of 7, why did you choose to stay in China for 12 years?
Actually, on the February 25th of the year 2000, God called me to China. And I left my business of 23 years as a mortgage broker, where I also was a teacher at 2 colleges, teaching real estate finance. And I was called to China. I gave my business away, and I came to China and ended up being a teacher and a professor. And now this is my 12th year here at the same university, and I love what I do. I love what I'm here. But it's because God called me here.
During your stay in China, you have made a lot of friends.
Yes.
And I know that there's a special man in your life. Who is the man in this picture?
Well, you had mentioned like the man of my special man, and that sounds very strange. But this is a man I gave the name Mr. Thank You to, because his Chinese name to me sounds like thank you. And I couldn't say it, so I just called him Mr. Thank You. This gentleman used to come through and go through the garbage cans to take out bottles to recycle to earn money for his family. And I saw him on the street one day going through the bottles, and I knew I had bottles at home. I wanted to give them to him. And so I tried to speak to him, but of course he couldn't understand me, and I don't know Chinese. So I called the students. Can anyone speak English? Can anyone speak English? Students came over to try to talk to him, but they couldn't understand him either because they have different dialects. And so we finally found a student who could talk to him and told him, I have bottles at home. If he would follow me home, I would give him those bottles. So the students left, I took his arm, I walked him to my house, and I went and got the bottles. After that, I started collecting bottles. I would go through the garbage cans of my fellow foreign teachers in our building, and I would collect bottles. And I had a recycling center in my bathroom underneath the sink. And whenever I collected many bottles, I would go around the campus or have students find him and ask Mr. Thank You to come. And he would come and take the bottles home and turn them in for money. Sometimes he would come to my house, I would give him food. And sometimes I would try to provide him some money to help with his medicine. And we became very, very wonderful friends. Whenever I saw him, I would hug him and love him. He knew how much I loved him. And I know he loved me very much also. It's very special.
You don't know the language, but you can still communicate with each other because of love.
Right. You don't have to speak the language to be able to share love and to share respect. And he knew I respected him. Even though he wasn't a beggar, he was working hard. He was sick and ill, but he was doing what he could to earn income. And he knew I respected him and I loved him. And you don't need language to share love and respect with people.
I know that at the last moment of his life, he was trying very hard to find you.
Yes, when he got so sick he knew he would die, he sent the family and requested them to find me so that they could bring me to him. And they looked and couldn't find me anywhere, and he was so sad. But I had gone home on summer vacation, and so I wasn't there. And the last thing he did was have them write out his last will and testament as a letter to me telling me, I want my family to find you and tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate your love and your respect and how much you cared about me. And so he passed away. I didn't know that. And the first day I returned to China, I always go to my famous restaurant, to the special family, to order my meal. And I went to the restaurant and asked the lady and talked and asked her about, where's Mr. Thank You? Where's Mr. Thank You? And her face got very sad. And she ran out of the building and she came back. She said, wait. She came back and brought me the envelope. And in their envelope was the letter in Chinese telling me that his last desire before he died was for them to find me, to tell me he loved me, and to thank me for loving him. And so the lady in the restaurant told me he passed away. And then I started to cry, and she cried with me. And the people in the whole neighborhood knew about our relationship. And so they also were very sad to know that I learned he had passed away. So I was very sad to see him go. But he's a very special place in my heart.
That's your friendship with Chinese people. It's a very touching story. I know that you have won a lot of awards and honors. Why did you cherish the one called Contribution Award most?
Oh, yes. The Contribution Award used to be the CCTV Cup, and then the co-sponsor was FLTRP. Number one, I love the people through CCTV and FLTRP, but mostly I love my students in China. This honor of a Contribution Award from them is so deeply embedded in my heart because it makes me realize that China appreciate that I have done in language learning. And this award shows me that the work I have done has been listened to by the people of China, and particularly in my field, in speech, in public speaking. The national award is given to everybody, that they honor to do that, and that's wonderful, and I appreciate that, to be a friend of China. But with this award, it honors what I do.
Yes.
It honors my research. It honors my work in my chosen field. So that's why it's so special.
Thank you very much for your insights. It's tea time. Let's have a cup of Chinese tea and then talk about the importance of teaching public speaking skills and critical thinking to Chinese students.
The most important thing that joined our two countries are trade and economic ties.
We should move towards finding win-win solutions.
Build a bridge through drinking some real nice Chinese tea.
Oh, I could kill for a nice cup of tea.
Why do you think it's important to be a good public speaker?
I think public speaking is probably one of the things that can truly improve a person's ability in their workplace, whether it's a teacher or a salesman or anything else. If you've got good communication skills and can speak well, it gives you better positions in your work. People usually think more highly of you because you know how to communicate your thoughts and ideas, and it gives you more confidence as well. And so I think public speaking is probably one of the Whether it's in Chinese public speaking or English public speaking, just public speaking is good for everybody to have some experience.
You know, several days ago, I had a talk with David Moser, the academic director of CET Beijing Chinese Studies, and we talked about the differences of the educational system between China and the US. Why do you think that China doesn't have enough good public speakers?
I don't think they've had the exposure to it as much, and I think there's very little emphasis placed in China on public speaking for the majority of students. Most of the parents want to make sure the students pass the exams, pass the tests, pass the certificates, which means memorization and taking the test. I don't think they really understand the value of what the public speaking can bring to their students.
What value can it bring?
Having a better opportunity to speak your mind, to say what you're thinking, to have the confidence that you need to stand publicly. You know, they say that more people are afraid of public speaking than deaf. You know, in some surveys, people say, oh, I would rather die than speak in the public. So they're afraid of it. But I think when you can overcome your fear and stand in front of a group of people, whether it's 3 or 15 or 9,000, it gives you great confidence and ability to be able to speak publicly. And I think you have to be able to know your thoughts, which is why critical thinking is so important. They need to do a lot of reading. They need to have a lot of background in order to be able to share those things. And so I think in every respect, if you have a good public speaking ability, you usually can achieve a great deal no matter what field you go into. And I think if China, particularly the parents, can see that, and the teachers can see that, they will allow their students to spend that time taking public speaking classes or learning to go into competitions.
What's the essence of English teaching in your opinion?
English is a tool. It's only a tool. And so I want to teach my students life lessons, teaching them who they are, being able to express what they want or what they think or what they do, to communicate with others.
How do you help your students to find who they are?
One of the things I've always told my students, I'm famous for this saying, wherever you are, be there. I wanted my students to learn when they're in the classroom, be there. Some of the students will sit in class and maybe look out the window. Oh, I wonder where my girlfriend is, or I wonder where my boyfriend is. And I said, no, when you're here in my class, be in my class. Your body, your soul, your spirit, be here, listen to me, participate. And I said, you know what? Wherever you are, be there means everywhere. When you go home, you be with your grandma, your grandpa. You be with your parents. Don't just watch TV and play with friends. Listen to them, talk to them, love them, be with them. So my students learned right away.
Why do you think this is very important for them?
Because they need to know what life is like, and they need to know who they are, and they can't live just by memorization. They need to know their life, their feelings, their thoughts, their emotions, who they are. When they're at school, they need to be at school, not thinking, oh, I wish I was at home. And when they're at home with the family, they need to know their family, to be with their family, and not think, oh, I wish I was back home at school. And so I think the students need to know who they are, to be where they're at, to get the best out of every moment. And if you're always thinking about somebody else or something else or being somewhere else, you're not really there. So they learn in my class, whatever the subject is, whatever we do it with all of your passion. Participate with everything you have. Be with your family, really be there, really love them. And when you leave to go back to school, be at school. They need to know who they are. They need to know their feelings.
I think it's tea time. Let's have another cup of Chinese tea and then talk about how to become a good public speaker and a critical thinker.
The most important thing that joined our two countries are trade and economic ties.
We should move towards finding win-win solutions.
Build a bridge through drinking some real nice Chinese tea.
Oh, I could kill for a nice cup of tea.
Hi, Connie Mom. Welcome back to Tea House.
Thank you. It's great being here.
How do you think a teacher can help their students to improve their public speaking abilities?
I think the most important thing that a teacher can do is to prompt the students to think and to encourage them to actually practice. because they have to practice, practice, practice. And if the teacher can get them so excited about something they want to talk about, or they want to look into, or they want to see, or they want to write, then the students will do it. And so a teacher's position, I think, is to prompt their thinking and to prompt their desire to practice.
You know, a lot of people will get nervous while speaking in front of a lot of people. How do you help your students to build up confidence?
Well, first, they have to have a good speech or something good to talk about, and so they need to write it well. But they need to stand in front of a mirror maybe and practice it, you know, speak in front of the mirror, speak it out, practice it a lot. But they have to actually be in front of people and have the experience of being there. So the nervousness and jitters, they don't go away. It's good to be nervous a little. I tell them, you have butterflies in your stomach. Teach the butterflies how to fly in uniform. And so use that nervousness for you. But the only way to get over it is to do it. So I provide my students many opportunities in the classroom to speak, and also take them outside of the school or outside of their classroom into other Chinese teachers' classes or foreign teachers' classes to give their speeches, or go to other schools to do it. So I just make them practice it a lot in front of people.
Well, here is a photo of you and your student holding your book. What is the main point of this book?
Well, the book is a guideline to public speaking training. And so it was published, I wrote it in 2006, and it was published around 2008. And I think many, many students or teachers use this book.
What are the typical steps for self-training in order to be a good public speaker?
Well, I think it's manyfold. You have many things to do. Again, it's practice and practice. Whether you're self-taught or self-learner, or whether you're working with someone else, you need to find a partner. You need to find somebody who enjoys speaking English like you do. My students are all required to spend a half hour every single day, 5 days a week, speaking nothing but English. So you need a partner to do that. And sometimes it's hard to find the partners. So if you can find a partner that will speak English with you every single day, that will improve your English.
Do you know, when you are proud of your students are also very proud of you. Here's a letter from Vivian, one of your students. Mom, you know, during this process, no matter when we do presentations or we introduce ourselves, I'm always reminded the principle you once told me. No matter where you are, be there. And I love to share this with other members of this group. I'm so proud of you. So lovely. You know that you have helped a lot of your students to realize their dream. What is your dream at the bottom of your heart?
In the bottom of my heart, I want to be able to know that how I have lived and what I have done has been good, and that I've been able to help a lot of people. And in China, that dream for me is to help students to improve their English, to improve their lives, to pursue excellence in every way, to be the best they can be. And I feel that if many of my students, or most of my students, have done that, who excel and understand the process of life and are excellent people to help China, to help the world, then my dream has been fulfilled.
Okay, thank you very much for joining our program, Connie. And I sincerely hope that with the effort of people like you, China can have more and more outstanding public speakers in all walks of life.
Thank you.
What is your expectation of Tea House program?
I'm excited about Tea House. I've known you for many years now, and to see that you have your program like this as part of your dream being fulfilled. And I hope and pray that you have many, many guests, wonderful guests, top guests, to be able to have an opportunity to be here with you on Tea House, and that people all over China and all over the world are able to learn from these people that you have brought here to be able to share their knowledge, their ideas, their thoughts, and that the Tea House will be a warm place to visit for your audience and for your guests, and that you will continue to be everything you were made to be, because you are truly an amazing young woman.
Thank you so much for your encouragement. I will try my best to be the best that I can be. I sincerely hope that we can sit down, relax, and have a cup of Chinese tea again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you for having me here, Yan Yan.
Okay, see you next time.